Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is September 22nd, 2024. And ladies and gentlemen, we have another thrashing by Barcelona, who just defeated Villarreal 1-5 in their stadium and against a Villarreal that was so far undefeated in La Liga. This is the post-match live analysis. We have a lot to discuss. So let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and this is the Barca News post-match live analysis where we analyze Barcelona matches as soon as they end and where I also get to interact with you lovely people in the chat section by reading your comments, answering your questions, and getting a discussion going. This is not to be confused with the Barca News podcast where we get to share Barcelona news, and those are on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Now, having said all of that, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. If you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the Get Back Goal Kits or Fanatics. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure you hit the Bet Us. All links are down below in the description. Now, let's begin with the match analysis because, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona just thrashed Villarreal 1-5 in their stadium, La Ceramica. This was a very tough match against a tough opponent. An opponent that was so far undefeated in La Liga, an opponent that plays very vertical and direct football and causes a lot of damage to their opponents. And Barcelona were able to not only get 3 points, but also finish the match with an absolute thrashing, a bittersweet thrashing, because of course we do have the injury of Ter Stegen. Now, overall, this was not Barcelona's best match. It was very chaotic. There was lots of back and forth. There were moments where Villarreal were really causing a lot of damage, where Villarreal came close to scoring goals. Not to mention they did score 3 goals that were eventually being offside. So not the best of matches for Barcelona, a Barcelona that had many players injured and even had several of their starters on the bench. But as Hansi Flick said in the pre-match press conference, there's absolutely no excuses. And he was not just saying that to look cool. He was not just saying that to appear tough. He means it. When Hansi Flick says no excuses, he absolutely means it. Because let's just count how many players Barcelona had injured. Gavi, Frankie, Fermin, Araujo, Christensen, Dani Olmo. Who else am I missing? I know I'm missing someone else. And we had Casado on the bench. We had Alejandro Valde on the bench. And we had Pablo Torres starting in a position that he's never started with Barcelona. We had Eric Garcia starting and playing a full match as a pivot, which has never done for Barcelona. And we had 2 Barca Athletic players, Gerard Martin and Sergi Dominguez, Cuarci, another starter who was on the bench. And despite that, that's pretty much the whole team. Or half of the team, most 3/4 of the team, not on the field, of the starting team, not on the field. But no excuses for Flick, like he said, and the team won. Won against a tough opponent, won in a tough stadium, missing most of their starting players, but no excuses because this is a coach that knows how to find solutions. Marc Bernal gets injured, boom, I put Marc Casado in his place. Marc Casado is not feeling too well, not a problem. We put Eric Garcia in his place. Dani Olmo gets injured. Let's try out Fermin. Oh, Fermin is injured? No problem. Throw in there Pablo Torre. This is a coach that finds a solution to every problem he has. And as he said, no excuses. And that's how important it is to adopt that mentality of no excuses. That's something I talked about for the last 2 years on this channel. I said only mediocre people spend more energy coming up with excuses than solutions, and that's exactly what Xabi used to do, and that's exactly what all the Xabi apologists used to do. They would spend all their energy just arguing with me, coming up with excuses. I'm like, wow, if you spent half that energy on finding solution rather than finding excuses, then maybe you wouldn't be as mediocre as you are, and that's what we have right now. We have a coach who's not a mediocre coach, a coach that doesn't care about what the circumstances are. He finds a solution. He doesn't come up with excuses, and things work out, because that's what happens when you adopt a winning mentality rather than a defeatist mentality. Now, one more thing I do want to mention, and I mentioned this during the Girona post-match live analysis, but how good is our offside trap? We saw it against Girona because we know Girona is a team that's very vertical. They like those deep passes on the counterattacks. And Barcelona, time and time again, executed that offside trap to perfection, whereas Girona players were constantly caught in offside positions. Can't remember how many offsides. I think it was 10 total against Girona. And today, once again, that offside trap was executed to perfection. 3 goals Villarreal scored, and all 3 of them were ruled out offsides because our offside trap is gotten absolutely impeccable under Flick, who again knows how to find solutions. He knew what Villarreal were going to do. He knew Villarreal liked those deep passes. He knew Villarreal liked those passes to the backs of the defenders. So what did he do? He made sure that his offside trap was on point, and as such, 3 offside goals. This could have been 4-5. But thanks to Flick, the way he finds solutions, the way he refuses to come up with excuses, Barcelona found a way, and we take another victory. 6 matches, 1 out of 6 matches. That's 18 points out of 18 points. And by the way, the last 5 seasons where Barcelona started this strong, La Liga, 4 of them, they won La Liga, and 1, they ended up second. Are we going to see a repeat of that? We'll have to wait and see. Now, of course, this thrashing was bittersweet, and it was bittersweet because, ladies and gentlemen, Ter Stegen has gotten injured. It looks like a very serious injury. We don't know what kind of injury or how serious the injury is yet. They're saying it's to the right knee, to the same tendon that he had to undergo surgery. It's not looking good because not only was Ter Stegen taken out on a stretcher, but he was actually immediately transported to the hospital. So it's not looking good for our goalkeeper. It looks like his season is over. Of course, we are going to know more tomorrow when they do the medical exams. We'll find out the extent of the injury, but it's not looking good, and it's looking like Ter Stegen's season is over after one hell of a save that he had. By the way, for all the people who were like, Ter Stegen out, Ter Stegen out, Ter Stegen sucks because what happened in Monaco, go back and watch the first half and watch that save that he did right before getting injured. And while you wanted Ter Stegen out, now we're stuck with Iñaki Peña. So let's see how that goes. It's not looking good, ladies and gentlemen. And now, unfortunately, for all those people, all those fickle fans who wanted Ter Stegen out, now you're truly going to see what Ter Stegen means to the team and how important Ter Stegen is to the team, because without him, it's not going to look good. Now, we'll see whether Barcelona will be able to get someone else in the winter transfer market, because after all, without Ter Stegen, we have Iñaki as a starter. It doesn't give me that much confidence as Ter Stegen. And even if he did, remember, who's his sub is Astralaga, a Barca Athletic goalkeeper who wouldn't be ready to be the starting goalkeeper. So if Iñaki gets injured, then we're really in trouble. So we'll see if Barcelona going to try to get someone. After all, they would be able to register him in the place of Ter Stegen, since Ter Stegen looks like he's going to be out all season. But definitely a big blow to the team, and you could see it on the players' faces when they saw how badly injured Ter Stegen was. But again, this is not a team that falls apart. The players were all shaken up. The players were all worried. They were all sad. They dusted their shoulders off. They continued fighting, and they won the match, because this is a team that finds solutions. This is a team that does not make up excuses. And this is a team that fights until the last moment, as opposed to many of the previous Barcelonas, whether it was Xavi's, Koeman's, Valverde's, or Setien's. Anyways, let's do the comment section, and then we will talk about the formation and about the players, because there's a lot to talk about. And we do have our first donation from Crispy Chicken, who says, Flick ball is real. Yes, it is, my friend, 100%. And Chris, who says, nice win and 3 more points, but we looked vulnerable in the counter. Martin doesn't have the pace to get back. We needed Frankie and Gabi back. Yes, I do agree. We did look vulnerable at moments. That's why I said at the beginning of this live that it wasn't the best of matches of Barcelona. It was a little bit chaotic, lots of back and forth. There were moments where Villarreal were really causing me a lot of heartache. But overall, Barcelona were able to then regain control, finish strong. But yes, as far as Martin, that's because that's not the kind of left back he is. Martin is not an offensive left back. Martin is the kind of left back that just stays back and defends. But of course, under Flick, he likes all players pushing forward. So a lot of times Martin would get caught a little bit, out of position because, again, he's not used to that. That's not the profile that he is. Balde is a lot more offensive than him. Martin is more of a defensive left back. But either way, I thought he did a good job. As far as Frankie Gabi, I mean, right now, given how many injuries we have, we need as many as possible. I think it's up to 9 now, 9 injured players. It's absolute insane. I feel like we are cursed. I feel like someone cursed us a long time ago where we just cannot be happy. If things are going well, something has to go bad. We were all happy like, oh, we have Pedri and Gabi in the place of Iniesta and Xavi. Boom, Pedri out. You're like, all right, well, at least we still have Gabi. Boom, Gabi out. Then as soon as Gabi gets injured, boom, Balde was out too. He too had a surgery, right? And then okay, at least we have Frankie. Boom, Frankie out too, right? Then we start the season. Oh, we're off to a strong start. Bernal out. And you're like, crap, okay. Dani Olmo, we just signed him. He's doing great. Okay, he's out too. Oh, it's okay. Fermin Lopez just came back from the Olympics. Oh, he's out too, right? And now Ter Stegen. And it's like we're somehow cursed where we just cannot be happy. Something bad always has to happen. And it's absolutely unfortunate. But how glad are you that we have Flick as our coach? Because if this was Xavi, it would have been all over like last season. Oh, well, we're losing because of the injuries. It's not my fault. The team is doing bad. And remember, I had hundreds of people on a daily basis telling me how toxic I was and that the only reason why the team was doing bad was the injuries. Well, look, our injuries right now are worse than last season. And 5-1. So how happy are you that Flick is the one in charge in the face of all this adversity? All right, let's do a couple more comments and then we will talk about the players and the formation. But Joshua says, hi Mo, with all the injuries Barca has, Ansu Fati did not get a minute in this game, and I'm sure Flick knew if Ansu is improving from the training or not, but I think he is not up to the expectations. I don't think that's the case. Flick has said it time and time again that he's very, very happy with Ansu, that he's very impressed with Ansu. I think it was because this was not the kind of match that you want to play Ansu in. Because up to until the 70th minute, the match was still up for grabs. Even though Barcelona were winning, Villarreal were still had their foot on the accelerator, and it looked like they could have, any moment score. And then once you're only up by 1 goal, the match is definitely up for grabs. It wasn't until north of the 70th minute that we scored the last 2 goals and kind of gave us more confidence. I think that's why. I think maybe, Flick felt like, okay, this is not the moment to bring back a player who hasn't played in the squad for over a year, who just recovered from a 2-month injury. So I think he opted for the safer choices. Wisdom says, I feel so bad for Ter Stegen. Man, that injury looks bad. We need an emergency sign in the winter. We will probably use his salary space. Yeah, it might be. Or who knows? Maybe Flick finds a way to turn Iñaki Peña into the best goalkeeper in the world. Because, if there's one thing Flick knows how to do is extract the best. Just compare Rafinha this season to Rafinha last season. Day and night, right? Lewandowski this season versus last season, right? Also day and night. Casado, someone who Xavi did not had zero confidence in. And look at him now. He looks like an absolute star. So I don't know. Maybe Flick finds a way to turn Iñaki Peña into the best goalkeeper in the world. I don't know, but we might have to go to the winter transfer market. And then Frank says, Mo, Vizca Barca on fire. Amazing to see Rafinha so tenacious and scoring with genius assists from our amazing youngster Lamine. I was on the edge after Ter Stegen went out, even though we were winning. Amazing. Vizca Barca indeed, my friend. And with that, let's talk about the players, because this is the formation. And I'll make this bigger so you can see it better. This is the formation that Flick started with. Of course, Ter Stegen in goal before that injury. Jules Koundé. By the way, Jules Koundé, is he a robot? Because this guy has played every minute of every single match since last summer of 2023. And he just does not get tired, does not get injured, knock on wood. But is this guy a robot? It's amazing, by the way. Jules Koundé and his stamina. Sergi Dominguez in the place of Cubarsí. It was really nice to see Cubarsí get some rest. There was a little bit of worry about his state because he had been running a lot. Iñigo, of course, Iñigo, guys. For all of you who kept saying Iñigo out, Iñigo old, Iñigo's trash, and I kept telling you, no, Iñigo's actually a solid center back. You guys have been awfully quiet, by the way. Gerard Martin, not the best matches, but he is a Barca Athletic player, first time starting. I think if we give him some time, we can see a better version of him. Pablo Torre in the place of I guess Dani Olmo / Fermin. Eddie Garcia with Pedri. Eddie Garcia, of course, starting as that defensive midfielder again, or defensive pivot, whatever you want to call him. And then our front three with Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal, and Rafinha. So lots of rotations here with Pablo Torre, Gerard Martin, and Sergio Dominguez. And even Eric Garcia, starting, which that's not usually something that you see. And again, a team that doesn't make up excuses was able to find solutions despite all the injuries and despite having 4 players who are not starters, 2 of them from Barca Athletic on the squad. Now, Pablo Torre, first time in that position as an attacking midfielder, 1 goal and 1 assist. By the way, one hell of an assist. That pass to Lewandowski was absolutely magic. The way he sees Lewandowski and the way he sneaks the ball through him, through the legs of the Villarreal defender, absolute magic, that assist. And then the goal, which is, by the way, a lot of people don't know this, but Pablo Torre, back when he used to play at Racing de Santander in the 2nd division, he was always the one in charge of taking the free kicks. So I know I saw a lot of people on social media surprised by that kick that Pablo Torre did from the edge of the box. But he used to do that a lot back in 2nd division. But nonetheless, it doesn't take away from one hell of a goal. It was one hell of a banger. Amazing way for Pablo Torre to announce that he's here and to announce to Hansi Flick that, look, you have solutions. Sure, almost injured. Sure, Fermin Lopez is injured. But hey, Mr. Flick, I'm over here. You have another solution to that attacking midfield position. Now, as opposed to Dani Olmo, as opposed to Fermin Lopez, Pablo Torre is perhaps a peg down from the 2. Now, on the edge of the box, Pablo Torre, very dangerous. The way he sees the passing, the way he sees his teammates, the way he combines with them, and even a shot, you see that he has a good shot. Very, very dangerous on the edge of the box. In the midfield, that's when he gives me a little bit of anxiety because he does lose balls in very dangerous areas, and he does not press and run back to recover as much as Dani Olmo and Fermin Lopez. Dani Olmo and Fermin Lopez are constantly running up and down, up and down, up and down. Pablo Torre, not so much. So as far as the offense, Pablo Torre, amazing. When it comes to tracking back, defending, not as much. But let's not forget, first start in La Liga for Barcelona. So who's to say that's not things that he's going to improve? He's just played for the first time. Also, speaking of first times, this was Pablo Torres' first goal in La Liga. He had only scored in the Copa del Rey with Girona, and he had scored in the Champions League with Barca against Victoria Pilsen. So first goal for Pablo Torre in La Liga. Again, amazing start, amazing way to announce his arrival, and amazing way to announce to Flick that, hey, don't worry, if those 2 are injured, I'm here. I can also be a good solution for you. Another player that started out in a position that's not usually his, or that he hasn't started in a while, of course, Eddie Garcia started in the defensive midfield position. Of course, he did start against Monaco, but we didn't get to see him because at the 10th minute, he got the red card. Today, Hansi Flick trusting him once again, saying, look, you made a mistake. That's okay. Mistakes happen. I still trust you. I'm going to put you in that position once again. Kind of like what Flick did with Bernal, because remember, Bernal made the same mistake with Ter Stegen in the Jan Gumper Trophy and resulted in Monaco's first goal during that friendly match. But Flick was like, it's okay. You made a mistake. Learn from it. I'm going to continue to trust you. Same thing with Eric. I don't want to say it was a great match, but Eric fulfilled his duty, right? He started out a little bit rough. He looked very nervous at times. He looked like he lacked confidence. But towards the second half, he looked a lot more confident, a lot more relaxed, a lot more certain in his decision-making. And he did save us from a goal where he blocked it with his face, and the Villarreal players thought it was a handball, that it was a penalty kick. But again, not saying a great match, but Eric Garcia did his job. And as far as that, it gives me the confidence that he's a good rotational player. I mean, he's nowhere near Casado or Bernal in that position, but given today's performance, I think it's good to see that we have another alternative for that position. Again, not as good as those two guys, but it's someone that you can maybe rotate with, someone you can put maybe against weaker opponents and then do the job. Not going to be like, wow, 10 out of 10, but at least you know that he can fulfill his job and that it's another option for Hansi Flick. Now, Rafinha, as a captain, and this was his first time as a captain, I have to say, bravo, Rafinha. When Lamine Yamal got fouled, and the way Rafinha ran to defend his teammate, and did it in a very composed way, by the way. Yes, he grabbed the other player from the jersey, but did it in a composed way, went to the referee in a very composed way, complaining about like protecting, because this is a 17-year-old that was getting kicked left and right, and there was nobody saying anything except Rafinha, and that's a true captain. That's a captain that protects his players, and that's a captain that, you know, is there to make sure that, you know, the ones who even need more protection, because this is a child, after all, 17-year-old Lamine Yamal. So very, very good job. I was very, very impressed the way to see Rafinha, how he was defending Lamine Yamal. And not just that one time, but there was another, like a few moments later, Lamine got fouled again. And once again, Rafinha was like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, so really, really impressed with Rafinha as a captain. Up to the point of the 2 goals, wasn't his best matches. It was like an average Rafinha match, lots of running, lots of pressing, but nothing like difference making. But then he did, you know, kind of made up for that average performance by then scoring 2 goals. So having scored 2 goals, we could say that it was a great match for Rafinha. And by the way, that pass from Lamine Yamal, how good was that assist from Lamine Yamal to Rafinha? My God, he was almost at midfield in the way he just, with the exterior of his foot, sees Rafinha running and bam, puts it right in front of him. Absolutely amazing what Lamine Yamal is doing at 17 years old. But with that, let's do a few more comments and then we'll keep talking about the players. I don't want to keep talking for too long without reading you guys' comments. And Sanchez says, hey, Mo, all love from Jamaica. Great game today. I truly saw Barca identity today. No matter who starts the game, will never change. And I think Lamine needs some rest time now. I agree with you again. And that's something I've highlighted before. That's what happens when you create a team that has an identity, a team that knows how to play and what to do. And when you do that, it doesn't matter who's on the field, what player is injured, what player gets subbed out, what player is rested. The team continues to work the same way because the team works as a unit, right? And they all know all the players know what to do within that unit. So when you swap one player and you put another one in his place, the machine keeps working the same way, right? It's like your car. If you switch tire because there was a hole in your tire, you take out a tire, you put another one, the car keeps working. It doesn't break down. That was not the case before. And that's one thing I always used to say. Barcelona lacks identity. People used to look at me like crazy. Like, oh, what are you talking about? Well, this is what I'm talking about, right? When a team doesn't have an identity, when a team doesn't know what style of play to employ, you end up with 11 individual players and you end up with a team that depends heavily on individual talent. So when you take out one player and you put another one in his place, things don't work out anymore because not everybody's the same talent, right? But when you have a team that works as a unit, it doesn't matter who comes and goes. The team continues to play the same way. And that's the mark of any great team. Look at City. Look at Arsenal. The list is long. Bayern. The list is long. Not the Gamer says, hi, Mo. I see people on TikTok saying that Ter Stegen season is over. Is this true? It's not 100% confirmed because we won't know for sure until tomorrow, which is when the medical exams will be conducted, but it's looking like it. I mean, not only was he taken out in a stretcher, he was immediately transported to the hospital. So that's a serious injury. AD says, really sad for Ter Stegen picking up today's injury, but at the same time, I'm really happy because it will force Barca to get their heads out of their asses and actually go out and bring quality. Okay, A, Ter Stegen is quality, and now you will see that. And B, to be happy that your captain got injured, I think there's some self-reflection needed here. Arshad says, I'm from India. What about Ter Stegen injury? How are we supposed to cope up? What about a new goalkeeper in January? I mean, Barcelona obviously haven't announced anything because it just happened, but it is a possibility. Now, what goalkeepers will be available? There's not going to be much, right? It's winter transfer market. There's already very few players available because people usually have contracts until the end of the season. Plus, goalkeepers, Teams are not usually up to negotiating about giving up their goalkeepers, right? This is a very essential position. But I think if you were to ask me what options we have, Alvaro Valles, I think that's a good option. He did really well with Las Palmas last season. He refused to extend his contract this summer with Las Palmas. So as such, Las Palmas have put him on the bench. So that's a good option. Alvaro Valles. Maybe Philip Jorgensen. He's a really good goalkeeper. He made the huge mistake of going to Chelsea, just like anyone who goes there. And he's not playing either. Those are options. But again, this just happened a few moments ago, so we don't know anything yet. All right, let's see. AD says, remember Villarreal had a full week of no match, plus Barca played 80 minutes midweek with 10 men. Crazy good results today. I agree with you 100%, my friend. Fitzroy says, what really happened to Ter Stegen? Wishing him a speedy recovery. Visca Barca. Yes, let's wish him a speedy recovery, but it's not looking good. All right, let's see. And Vasudev says, Valles coming as emergency signing. I mean, that is a good option. But again, nothing's confirmed. Ter Stegen just got injured. Luke says, so insane how shit this fan base is, though, and they proved that they harassed Ter Stegen after this Monaco game. No player deserves that. I agree with you 100%, my friend. Like I've said a million times, fans are just fickle, right? They're super fickle. Just look at Lewandowski case, okay? That's just one of million examples. Last season, Lewandowski sucks. He's trash. He's old. Get rid of him. Lewandowski starts the season strong, right? 4 goals in 5 matches. Oh, Lewandowski's amazing. Flick found the best form of Lewy. Monaco match happens. Lewandowski doesn't do much. Oh, Lewandowski sucks. Get him out of there. Today, 2 goals. Oh, Lewandowski's great. That's the kind of fans we have. Gio says, either way, we'll be fine. We have many great players out on loan with buyback clauses. Worst comes to worst, we'll bring them back and continue. And Charles says, hey, Mo, beautiful game by Pablo Torre. I want to see him play more often. I want to see him play more often too. And as I said, I really like him in the offense. He's very dangerous outside the box. He doesn't give me too much confidence in the midfield. He had some pretty, he had a few losses that almost caused goals, and he also doesn't press and track back to recover as much as Dani Olmo or Fermin Lopez. All right, let's wrap up and let's talk about Lewandowski. I think Flick has found Lewandowski's best form. Lewandowski's performing just as good as the first season when he arrived in Barcelona. He could have had the chance of scoring a hat-trick today. It was unfortunate he missed that penalty kick. But another 2 goals added to the tally of Lewandowski, who has now scored 7 goals in 6 matches. Absolutely brilliant by the Polish striker. And we have to talk about Lamine Yamal. Not about how great he is, because I will be stating the obvious. I don't even know what to say about Lamine. It's kind of like how when Ferran plays, I don't even know what to say because how bad he is. I don't know what to say about Lamine because how great he is. Like, there's nothing I could say that's going to be flash news to you, because all of you have eyes. You all see what Lamine does on the field. His assist to Rafinha was absolutely brilliant. But what I do want to talk about is how dedicated Lamine is to just playing football. And what I mean by that, let's remember that foul, when the one I was talking about where Rafinha almost lost it, almost killed the Villarreal player. But let's talk about that, because Lamine Yamal gets kicked really hard, almost by the waist. Instead of getting up, trying to fight with the player, instead of getting up, going after the ref, like, hey, what the hell? Gets up, continues playing. A few moments later, he gets kicked again. Does he get up, go to the ref to complain, go to the other player trying to fight him? Gets up, continues playing. Now compare that to the clown, also known as Vinicius Jr., who every time he gets touched, he starts like, going on the floor and doing flips and like, and then he gets up and he starts talking crap to the other players, and he starts talking crap to the referee, then he goes to the fans and starts now Lamine, 17 years old, more mature than the clown Vinicius Jr. will ever be, gets hit, gets up, continues playing. By the way, that hit on Lamine Yamal, that was a straight red. I have no idea how the ref saw that and decided it was a yellow. First, the other guy steps on him, and then he kicks him in the waist. Nowhere near the ball. That should have been a straight red. I'm starting to get a little bit tired about these. Whenever Lamine Yamal gets fouled, So the referees do not care. I don't know if it's because Lamine is not a star yet. You know, he's not a heavyweight yet. You know, it's not like Messi getting fouled or Ronaldo getting fouled. I don't know if that's why, because he's a child. But I'm starting to get sick and tired of these referees just completely ignoring the fouls that Lamine Yamal gets. But anyways, that's all I had to say about the match, about the players. Again, not the best of matches, a little chaotic. A lot of times Barcelona lost control of the match. But again, this is a team that knows what they're supposed to do on the field. This is a team with an identity. This is a team with a clear plan on what to do. And no matter what the circumstances are, no matter how many injuries there are, no matter whether you're starting with Barca Athletic players or with your starters, doesn't matter. This team knows how to find solutions. This team does not accept excuses. How refreshing. And this team continues to fight until the last moment. And all that is thanks to Hansi Flick, who has completely changed the dynamics of the team, but also the mentality of the team. Because Flick refuses to have a mediocre team like we did last season. And that's a lesson to all of you mediocre fans who used to defend everything that Xavi used to do by coming up with a million excuses. God, I wish you guys would have spent half of that energy coming up with excuses when actually coming up with solutions. But this is what happens when you refuse to come up with excuses, and then instead you say, let's get to work, let's find solutions rather than excuses. All right, let's do more comments, and then we will end this live stream. And then, of course, later on, we will do more videos of news. Chuchu says, Torre over for me any day, anytime. Absolutely not. Godgiver says, hey, Mo, I pray we don't defend this way with Bayern or Real Madrid with this poor defend and reserve goalkeeper. I guess one match at a time. AD says, look, what are you talking about, bro? Ter Stegen has been horrific recently. Those are facts, people, not only for Barca, but also for Germany. I mean, that's your fact, my friend. What do you want me to say? Not the Gamer says, Rafinha with another good game. Hope bro keeps it up. Hope so as well. Oh, and we do have a donation. My bad, my friend. I did not see your donation. But Baba says, Lamine chose Iñaki over Mats in his dream team. It wasn't in his dream team. It was during practice where you select your 7 versus 7 you're going to play against in practice. I don't know if that says much, but I guess, media outlets, I saw that. They wanted to blow it up out of proportion because they need to sell papers, and people just ran with it. She says, Kunde is my player of the match. He's so consistent. Also, Iñigo is so underrated. Put some respect on his name. I agree 100% with you. And like I said before, I mean, is Kunde a robot? Because this guy just does not get tired. Just like Rafinha, by the way, another player who does not get tired. Like, it's insane. Let's see. What else? Woo, this chat moved on me. Walter says, Casado, what a player we got there. 100% agree with you. I mean, the way he's playing is absolutely amazing. Mickey says, I was not happy. Hansi Flick allowed Lamine to finish full match. Looking at how he wanted to injure him, he should have subbed him ASAP from Ghana, but lives in Dubai, Masquion Club. I'm also a little bit worried about all the matches or all the minutes that Lamine Yamal has been playing, but I have to say, if Flick is continuing to play Lamine, that means most likely, and of course, I don't know this for sure, but most likely is probably Lamine is not really showing any signs of fatigue, because these players, they have special tests for the muscles of the players where they do these tests and they determine at what stage the muscle is as far as fatigue. And if Lamine is constantly playing, my guess is that his tests are constantly coming back negative, that he's not fatigued, right? And that's why we also see Rafinha play every match, because that guy is just a robot. He's bionic. The guy just does not get tired. Same with Kunde. The guy just does not get tired. So I'm guessing that's probably why we're still seeing Lamine play. I don't think Flick is, if there's anything we've seen from Flick is that he knows what he's doing. So I don't think Flick is like that stupid where he's like, oh, Lamine is tired. That's okay. Keep playing him. Who cares if I risk his injury? That's my guess. But yes, I am worried about the minutes that Lamine is getting. Vito says, hi, Mo. This is my first time watching you all the way from Croatia. Whoa. Anyways, which player will be ready for Bayern game? Oh, wow. All the way from Croatia. Thank you, my friend, for your comment. I think you're the first person to comment from Croatia. But for Bayern, we should already have Olmo back. We should have Fermin Lopez back. We should have Frankie de Jong back. And maybe Gabi. So that's good. Christensen and Araujo, not yet. Those will be probably towards the end of this year. And then, of course, Ter Stegen looks like his season's over. And Bernal, obviously, his season's over. But yeah, so we should have Frankie, Olmo, Fermin, and maybe Gavi. All right, let's see. Terron says, looking forward back to the Champions League. We'll focus again and play the same way we play in. Amen, my friend. I look forward to it too. But we have a lot of matches from here until then. It's crazy. We have Getafe on Wednesday, Osasuna on Saturday, and then Champions League. This calendar is absolutely insane. Adam says, hey, Mo, do you think Kunde might be right? Yes, we love to see the team frequently, but the calendar is also packed. To be honest, I feel it's one of the major reasons players are getting injured frequently. It is the reason why players are getting injured quickly. I mean, at this point, FIFA and UEFA are prioritizing profit over the health of the players and the longevity of the players, because they continue to add more and more and more matches. The Champions League, they just added, 2 more matches? Used to be 6 in the group stages. Now it's 8. And if you don't qualify directly to the round of 16, you have to play 2 playoff matches. So you can end up playing 4 extra matches than usual. Club World Cup. That used to be, 2-3 matches? Now it's going to be like 7 if you make it all the way to the final. And it's just getting ridiculous. More and more and more matches, and all for the sake of profit. And it's like at one point you have to say, okay, sure, you're a business, you want profit, but at what point do you say enough is enough? Because sure, we can have a match every day, right? That would maximize profit. But how you gonna make profits if you don't have players to play? Because players are falling left and right, and it's because of this. Because FIFA and UEFA continue to prioritize profits over the health of the players. And if the players went on strike, honestly, I would not blame them. It would suck because we wouldn't have matches to watch, but I would not blame them one bit because it's getting out of hand. Alistair says, hi Mo, Laporta appointed Flick was a master stroke, definitely paying off. Agree, 100%. I still don't like how Laporta ended up handling the whole Xavi situation, where Xavi quits and they're like, no, don't quit, please come back, please. Oh, hey, he's back, yay, yay, and then fires him a week later. That made 0 sense to me. I think when Xavi resigned, they should have left it at that. Thank you. Plus, it would have protected Xavi's image. Remember, Xavi's a legend. One of the best midfielders in the history of football and the history of Barca. If you would have just let him walk away, just resign, okay, it would have not only would have been the best thing for the team because Xavi was not it, but it would also protected the image of Xavi, where he wouldn't have had to be fired from his boyhood club. Right? So I don't like how Laporta handled the situation, but yes, I am glad that he hired Flick. And Not the Gamer says, on Google, it says Bernal is back on January 1st, 2025. Is that the case? And we're just giving him another half? No. Bernal is out until next summer. He has the same exact injury as Gavi, and Gavi was out for a year. So I expect Bernal to be out for a year. Matt says, hi Mo, I'm Martins from Nigeria. Hansi Flick has really done an absolute transformation on the team. I hope Ferran and Lowy finish 1st and 2nd for the Pichichi this season. I don't know about Ferran finishing 2nd, but if Flick can turn Ferran into a good player, I'm all for it. Because the more players are good, obviously, or the more players that are performing well, the better the team does. And at the end of the day, that's what we all want for our team to do well. And one last one, Mabito Vito says, do you think we can go as far as semifinals in the Champions League? I think we should take it one match at a time. This is a new project with lots of new players, and we have to take it one match at a time and stop thinking about trophies and semifinals and trebles and sextuples. Let's be patient, one match at a time. Now, of course, when we make it that far, I'm all for it. But let's take it easy. The season just began, and it's very, very long season. Anyways, that is it for this post-match live analysis. Thank you guys for watching, for your likes, your comments, your subscriptions. I will see you later today in the news videos. And as always, peace, guys.